back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Jennifer. Today we're going to talk about my book haul. I checked out 6 books from the library when I went in physically and filled up a backpack full of books. And then also I had 2 pre-orders that came in from Barnes & Noble. So let's get started and talk about this month's book haul. I'm so excited to share these books with you, these possibilities of books that I will hopefully enjoy. So the first book is by Lisa Jewell, The House We Grew Up In. I have read The Family Upstairs, and so it's the only Lisa Jewell I have read. I've heard good things about this one, and how they are starts off like at the end when somebody is older, when the mother is older, and then their kids, and then it goes back into how it led to this mother ending up the way that she did, and so the house they grew up in. So it sounds pretty interesting. This is our house, our family, our secrets. Meet the picture-perfect bird family. Pragmatic Meg, dreamy Beth, and 2-headed twins Rory and Rise. One an adventurous troublemaker, the other his lighter, more sensitive counterpart. Their family is a sweet and gangly man, but it's a beautiful, free-spirited mother, Lorelai, who spins at the center. In those early years, Lorelai tries to freeze time by filling their simple brick house with precious mementos. Easter egg foils are her favorite. Craft supplies too. She hangs all the children's art to her husband's chagrin. Then one Easter weekend, a tragedy so devastating occurs, and almost imperceptibly, it begins to tear the family apart. Years pass, and the children have become adults, while Lorelai has become the country's worst hoarder. She has alienated her husband and children and has been living as a recluse. But then something happens that beckons the Bird family back to the house they grew up in to finally understand the events of that long ago Easter weekend and to unearth the many secrets hidden within the nooks and crannies of home. So yeah, sounds like a very interesting story tale, and see what we get up to. This is I watched an interview from Pastel's Bookshelf. Oh shoot, I forgot I have to put their name down below. But she actually interviewed Lisa Jewell. And so this is one of the recommends that Lisa Jewell loved writing. And so I'm excited to give this one a try. And then the third book in the Wayward Children series, Between the Sugar Skies by Shannon McGuire. So this continues off in the story. And so we'll see, we'll see how this one, in the colorful world of confection, where lollipop flowers and cotton candy clouds belie the darkness below. And so, yeah, it should be an interesting, very short, quick little read. So we'll see if I like this one to continue on in the series or not. This will help me decide. I didn't think I want to continue on the second one, but I'm curious to see how this one unfolds. I just heard really good things, so hopefully I'll continue with that series. And then I've heard nothing but great things about this one by Julie Clark, The Ghostwriter. Look at these sprayed edges. That is some of the best kind of sprayed edges I have seen. And so, yeah, a very, very interesting take on sprayed edges. And so I'm curious to see what this one is like. I've heard really good things about it. And so, June 1975, the Taylor family shatters in a single night when 2 teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. Ghostwriter Olivia Dumont has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she's the only child of Vincent Taylor. Now on the brink of financial ruin, she offers to the ghostwrite her father's last book. What she doesn't know is that this project is another one of his lies, because it's not another horror novel he wants her to write. After 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. So it sounds kind of like a psychological thriller, which I love those. And it talks about writing and books and the horrific tale. So I think this sounds right up my alley. I think I'm really going to love this one. So that is definitely what I'm interested in from the library. I was surprised that it was available in my store, which is great. And then Jennifer McCone, The Invited. I read The Children on the Hill, which I loved. It was one of the institution books that I read last year, and I just wanted to read something more by this author, and I've heard really good things about The Invited. It says it's a chilling ghost story with a twist. The New York Times bestselling author of Winter People returns to the woods of Vermont to tell the story of a husband and wife who don't simply move into a haunted house, they build one. In a quest for a simpler life, Helen and Nate have abandoned their comforts of suburbia to take up residence on 44 acres of rural land, where they begin the ultimate aspirational do-it-yourself project, building a house of their dreams. When they discover that this beautiful property has dark and violent past, Helen, a formal history teacher, becomes consumed by the local legend of Hattie Breckenridge, a woman who lived and died there a century ago. With her passion for artifacts, Ellen finds special materials to incorporate in the house: a beam from an old schoolroom, bricks from a mill, a mantle from a farmhouse, objects that draw her deeper into the story of Hattie and her descendants. Oh, interesting. So we'll make the house a ghost house, like a haunted house, because of the pieces of the land that she's using. So interesting. But yeah, so I've heard really good things about this one by this author. So we'll see. We'll give it a shot. And then moving on to the book club book for my Patreon membership with Books and Jams with Krista, The House of Ease by Sequoia Johnson. I have touched on this one in other videos, but I did check it out from the library. I did get it. Gonna get started with this one very soon before the end of February, so we could talk about it in our book club. I've not read anything by this author, so I'm interested to see if I like this one or not. And then moving on to a controversial book, this one, Catabasis, however you want to say it. People are saying it all differently, by R.F. Kuang. This is between academics and scholars and wanting to be the best scholar ever, and then also proceeds through hell to save their professor. And so yeah, so we'll see if I like this one, see if I like the author of this writing. I guess it's very differently written. And so yeah, I'll be very curious to see if I like this type of story or not. But it's also a very long book, so we'll see if I like it. So I'll be keeping you posted on this one as well. Moving on to the last two books. These are the two that I have purchased that were pre-orders from Barnes & Noble that were for releasing in February. This one is Books and Bewitchment by Isla Jewell. This one just sounds so cute and cozy and witchy and right up for the month of February, like a romance story. And so yeah, so we'll very well see if I like this one. Should be a pretty quick read. If I do, look how white those pages are. Very fun, but a very beautiful cover, fun. So yeah, sounds right up my alley. We'll see if I like this one as well. I've heard really good things, so hopefully I will. And then of course I had to get the latest Matt Dinniman release. This starts a new series, Operation Bounce House. Look how orange that is. It's a very, very neon orange. And so yeah, very interesting to see what happens. It says, what happens when we become your planet's final boss? All colonist Oliver Lewis ever wanted to do was run the family ranch with his sister, maybe play a gig or two with his band, and keep his family's aging fleet of intelligent agriculture bots kicking as long as possible. He figures it'll be a good thing when the transfer gate finally opens all the way and restores instant travel and full communication between Earth and his planet, New Sonora. But there's a complication. Even though the settlers were promised they'd be left in peace, Earth's government now has other plans. The colossal Apex industry is hired to commence an eviction action, but maximizing profits will always be Apex's #1 priority. Why spend money printing and deploying AI soldiers when you can turn it into a game? Why not charge bored Earthers for the opportunity to design their own war machines and remotely pilot them from the comfort of their own homes? This game is called Operation Bounce House. Oliver and his friends soon find themselves fighting for their lives against machines, pilots by gamers who's paid a premium for the privilege. With the help of an old book from his grandfather and a bucket of rusty parts, Oliver is determined to defend the only home he's ever known. Oh, that would just be going against their word from Earth's word, and just sounds so infuriating, so maddening. I can see like stars in the black text there. So fun. So that is one that I'm very interested in reading very soon, so I can be not get behind on that series like I am with Dungeon Crawler Carl. But the question is, can I read this book before I read book 7 from Dungeon Crawler Carl or not? Or do I need to finish and catch up on that series first? Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed this book haul, these library books, and a few new purchases with me today. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Please leave a comment down below and sharing something that you have loved doing this weekend. You know, do you have any plans for Valentine's Day? Do you celebrate Valentine's Day, celebrating with your friends? And so let me know down in the comments if you have any weekend plans. If not, if you're not feeling chatty, go ahead and provide some kind of robot emoji for the AI taking over and wanting to exterminate this planet. And so hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.